Hi, today artificial intelligence is a lot in the news. There's been rapid progress in AI, and the question that always comes up is, can AI overtake or surpass human intelligence? According to some computer scientists, it's only a matter of time before that happens. There have also been movies in the recent past, the Terminator series, the Matrix series, which show that machines becoming so intelligent and so powerful that they ultimately threaten the human race. Now, are we at that stage, or can we be at that stage in the near future where machines become more intelligent than human beings and can even threaten our very existence? Well, the answer is no. It can never happen. Let me explain why. Now, there are two ways of answering this question. One is logically and one is spiritually. Now, the spiritual answer goes a little deeper. So let's look at both. Logically, what happens when we program a computer? We transfer some of our intelligence to it. Now, a human being has two levels of intelligence. We have the intelligence of the mind and we have the intelligence of our soul. Now, our soul intelligence is greatly more intelligent, has much more intelligence than the mind. That's where we get our creativity from. Now, when we're programming a computer, we are only transferring some limited amount of intelligence from our mind to the computer. And we get it to perform tasks at great speeds because of the semiconductor chips and the processors and the very powerful processors they have. But because a computer can process something at great speed, increased speed doesn't mean greater intelligence, it just means greater efficiency. They can do something faster. It doesn't make them more intelligent. Now, computers today are so powerful that they can win chess games against some of the leading chess players in the world. But chess is a game with fixed rules and you can program that. Life is infinitely more complex, so it's very difficult to program a computer to face life. Now, the basic problem with a computer is that it doesn't have any innate intelligence of its own. And this is where the spiritual answer comes in. A book I translated some years ago, The Spanda Karakus, the author asked a fundamental question there. He said, what breathes life into the body? And the answer is very simple. It's our soul that breathes life into the body. And the soul is nothing but consciousness. Now, if you look at the world around you, living organisms that have more consciousness automatically have more intelligence. For example, plants have a limited amount of consciousness, so they have a limited amount of intelligence. Animals have more consciousness, so animals have more intelligence. Finally, human beings have the maximum number of consciousness, the greatest consciousness, so we have the maximum amount of intelligence. In fact, we can achieve the peak of evolution and become enlightened. No other species can do this, but only we are given that privilege because we have the maximum amount of consciousness and we have the ability to be self-aware. An animal or a plant can't be self-aware, and a machine definitely cannot be self-aware. So the problem here is that you can't transfer your consciousness, your soul, to anything else. You can't transfer your consciousness, say, to another human being. You could do that maybe in Harry Potter movies, but in the real world it's not possible. If we could do that, we would be able to bring some dead people back to life, and that's clearly impossible. Now, if you can't transfer your consciousness to a human being, you definitely can't transfer it to a machine. And that's the main problem with AI. It will always have a limited amount of intelligence, just the intelligence that you program it. But it won't ever have any consciousness, it will never have any self-awareness. Now, the best example to give about this is the example of the sun and the moon. Now, as you know, the moon has no light source of its own. It only reflects light from the sun, which is why we can see it in the sky. Now, could a stage ever come where the moon would shine more brightly than the sun? No, that's impossible. Because the moon doesn't have any innate light source, it can never shine anywhere near as brightly as the sun. And that's the same thing with AI. AI will never surpass human intelligence. They'll only reflect a limited amount of human intelligence. That's why it's called artificial intelligence. It'll always remain artificial. If you want the real intelligence, you have to look within yourself. Thank you.